Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to, well, Bardsung. If you follow the channel for a long time, way before I got into League of Engineers and the channel grew to the size it is now, I played a lot of this game when it delivered a number of years ago. And with the news of the new edition coming, not necessarily a new edition, but the new kind of sequel to Bardsung, The Forsaken Glade, now available on GameFound to back, I thought I really need to go back to Bardsung and see what it has to offer, see what we're missing. We played this game a lot, got through a number of chapters, but it got a little repetitive for me, so I wanted to take a break from it, and here we are a number of years later. But like I said, with renewed interest in the game because of the kind of revised edition slash sequel that's coming out, it looks a good bit different from this one. I kind of wanted to go back and get a little bit further. So we've actually been playing a good bit of it, and I have captured some of the story beats in this chapter 8. This is the same chapter we left off in a number of years ago, the last time we played, and that is the Crone's Sanctum. So for a refresher, we are delving down through the ancient forge, and we've been fighting a lot of undead, a lot of creepy creatures that are just undead versions of the enemies we fought in the first two chapters. So it just got a little samey after a while, but I'm enjoying it again. And we are down with just a handful of scenarios left in this 8th chapter. And we haven't played all 8 chapters. You jump around as the game goes, but we are actually just finished 8G, and we can move on to H or I and play those next. And the reason I wanted to go ahead and start capturing again is because I think there's a boss fight coming up here that would be interesting to see. And then also, this is a particular type of game we have not captured or even played before. And that upside down symbol is a torchlight encounter here. And we're going to dive in and see what that is like and just have something to show in the Bardsung series in case you're interested in looking at the new game. As I said, I've watched some of the gameplay of the new one, The Forsaken Glade, and it looks pretty interesting. There's some similarities, some bones are the same, but a lot of difference too, which is cool. So the torchlight encounter, you set up and complete it, similarly to a standard crawl encounter. However, at the start of the encounter, we're going to retrieve cards C212. There are a lot of cards that basically tell us the story of Bardsung and give us certain things that change and have some variance as we play. We're going to get that from the challenge aspect deck, and we're going to place it in the first delay slot. Down here is our initiative track. You can't quite see it. I thought it'd be better to get the whole board here. And then at the very end, there are these hourglass slots, and they're the delay slots. We're going to find that card, put it there, and if the heroes complete the encounter or fail it and choose to play another encounter, we're going to put that card back in the vault. So let's grab that card and see what it has for us. All right, so here is card 212, and here's what it says. This is the Torchlight card. Your light grows weak and struggles to beat back the gloom. You'll need to find a new torch somewhere ahead. So place 15 timer tokens on this card at the start of the end phase, which we do after every hero has taken their turns, as well as any enemies in the initiative track. We discard a token. If there are no tokens to discard, then the heroes fail this encounter. So we basically have 15 turns to complete the encounter. And honestly, it's not too tricky to get across the board. That's what you're trying to do in every node of Bardsung. Each time a tile is placed and overlaps a rune marker, or the heroes take a rest, reset the number of tokens to 15. Okay, so there are ways that we can give ourselves more time. Okay, there we go. Well, that is a torchlight encounter. We're going to do it. We're going to play it as similarly as we can to another standard crawl, trying to remember those new rules. Again, this is the first time we've played a torchlight encounter, and it makes sense. We're coming to the end of the Crone's Sanctum, and you know, we're just trying to get to the end. We're just trying to get to the end of the ancient forge. As a reminder, here are the characters we are playing. This is the Forge Warden, the Wild Shell, Path Seeker. This is a ranged damage character. Wild Shell's a little bit of a support character, can do buffs. and that kind of thing. Forge Warden is a tanky character, and our party has done pretty well for us. In fact, I don't think we've lost an encounter, to be honest. It has been a long time since we've played. We've leveled up a few times. We each have 5 ability cards now. I've given each of our characters a +4 to the ability that most of their attacks correspond to. And that's it. Yeah, we'll do a reminder. I'll show every card as we pick them for abilities on our turns and that kind of thing. But that's it. So the monsters that we will face in this particular scenario are zombie brigands, shadows, rotting brutes, carrion rats, and revenant reavers. Those are the enemies that are here in the Crone Sanctum. We also have a wandering monster deck that consists of a giant spider, wandering monster, and Ettercap, the wind tunnel card, which blows open every door, and then just an echo, which is basically just a nothing card. There's also the ability to have rubble and fire pit terrain in here as well. Yeah, I think we're going to move on to 8i because it has a treasure in it. And we will go ahead and put that token out here on the northernmost rune, just up here, and we will try to get to it because I like getting as much treasure as possible. Okay, well, I think we're going to get all of the timer tokens that we need to set our timer for the round, and we'll begin a new delve in Bardsung. All right, so first round starts. We're going to just plow straight ahead. Each of our heroes gets 2 actions that they can take. They can do an ability card, they can move, or they can explore. So 2 of those 3 actions are the abilities that we can take. We can do any of those twice as long as the ability that we do is a different ability. So 2 actions in our action economy, and we're just trying to make it to the other side of the board. We need to take all of our hero cards. That's the only models on the board at the moment. We're going to shuffle them up here, and that will be our initiative. All right, so first will be Path Seeker, then Forge Warden, then Wild Shell. All right, and it's up to Path Seeker to go first to do 2 actions. So each particular character has a movement value they can do. Path Seeker's card is here. Their movement is 3. So we can move 3 zones on a particular tile. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and move them 1 zone, and we'll take an explore action. When we explore, we draw either a corridor or a room card, depending on which tile you're in currently. So we're currently on a room card, so we need to draw a corridor card. Let's do that now and see what there is to see. Here is the deck we have. I've been playing and using every card without shuffling, so we only have a few left here in our corridor deck because I've been trying not to do the same tiles over and over again just to see something new. Doing the same with the battle aspect and the challenge aspect cards as well. So here we go. We're drawing. All right, we have a corridor, and these symbols here mean we have some enemies to put out, as well as this symbol here, which is present. It'll tell us that we need to draw a battle aspect card. Something else is going to happen that will affect this particular battle. We'll grab that tile, get its orientation correct, draw the card, and move on from there. All right, we've set the tile up, just going straight ahead to make progress to go to the far side of the board, which is where we're trying to get. I've left the bottom here a little exposed so we can see some of the marching order. It's going to be tricky to see. This is a really big board. We have a shadow out here. There are 3 zones on this tile, so 3 sections that we can move into, and when we spend a movement point, we will move 1 zone. We have a shadow in the first area. I'm sorry, not area. Area is another term we want to use for this game. Area includes a group of tiles that are not blocked off by a door. So here we go. Here's a shadow in the first zone. In the next zone, we have a zombie brigand. And the last zone over here, next to the next portal we have a rotting brute. And we want to move the hero that did the explore action over onto this new tile. In just a moment, we're going to shuffle a new marching order. The round automatically ends because we drew cards for enemies that did not have cards present in the marching order. So we'll go ahead and exhaust one of our timer tokens on this delay card. In the past, I haven't counted it as a round that we would need to do an end phase for, but I just went back over the rules, and it does look like we would need to do an end phase at the end of this round because the round does technically end according to the rules. If you think differently, just let me know. I know I've played that we don't do the end phase yet when we shuffle a new order because we're kind of starting over. But as it appears to me in the rules, we're gonna need to do the end phase. So we're discarding one of our 15 timer tokens, meaning we have 14 more rounds to get to the end of this scenario. We need to draw a battle aspect card, which is indicated by this symbol here. So we'll go ahead and do that. An extra challenge for this particular encounter. Oh, and we have an assassin. There was something following you through the dark after all. After placing enemy's place, I believe this symbol means another zombie brigand on the previous tiles, right? This is previous and this is current tile. After dealing the new marching order, move this particular enemy card left 2 spaces, which is interesting because if they are the zombie brigands, they get slowed. They move down 1 and then back 2. All right. That's an immediate effect. We know that by the exclamation point. We don't get any gold for completing the assassin card. Interestingly enough, there is no summon. I forget what those things are called. We don't have this particular symbol on this because it's the starting tile, interestingly enough. We'll just put them, we'll just kind of put them here in this zone. I'm not sure exactly where we would need to do that. But yeah, we do indeed have another zombie brigand. We'll put him, I guess, right there. All right, and time to deal a new marching order. Let's shuffle all these cards. First up, Forge Warden, the Shadow, the Wild Shell, Path Seeker, Zombie Brigand, and then the Rotting Brute goes last. That makes sense. He's big and hulking. We're going to move the Brigand right 1 because he gets slowed because of his lurching gait. You see that here on the bottom of this card. But then because he was an assassin, he's going to move over 2. So 1, 2. So we've got hero, enemy, hero, enemy, hero, enemy. Interesting marching order there. And Forge Warden gets to go first. We do have a specific ability that is affected by an explore action taken with Path Seeker. This is our Hunter's Prey here. And if he makes an explore action, their first attack following the round is empowered. And the damage rolls are also empowered. So we get to add a D4 to our first attack and damage rolls since we were the ones that explored. Okay, Forge Warden needs to go first. I think we start by doing his Crusader Stride. And that is a melee ability that is charisma based. That's what this symbol means. It costs 1 of our 4 fate. On a hit, we're going to deal a wound. Crit, we will wound and move, and we're doing that because before this attack is resolved, Forge Warden can be placed in an adjacent zone, meaning we don't have to spend movement. We can just move him up here, try to attack that guy. All right, so let's make sure we spend our fate token, and we're gonna roll a d20. And when we roll the d20 and we add the corresponding skill score to it. As I pointed out on Crusader Stride, it's a charisma-based attack, which we have a +4 in. There's nothing particular that changes anything about this roll on this particular enemy. Sometimes we'll have that happen. But we will need to make a 10 to deal a hit or a critical. So let's go ahead and roll that. Get some of these dice out of the way. All right, so we need to roll at least a 10 on the die to be successful. Or I'm sorry, just a 6 to be successful. Anything above a 6, we will hit. All right, on 16 we'll definitely hit because that's a total of a 20. If you look at your particular character card, it'll show you what your critical die is going to, or sorry, your damage die is going to be. So he's going to roll a d6, and we need to take a look at the enemy's toughness, which is right here. And this is the number we need to roll the damage die to have those critical effects go into effect, which were the wound dealt as well as the push. All right, so let's roll a d6. On a 3 crit, that's just a 1. We're just going to deal 1 damage to him. We do have a repulsor shield as one of our items, and we have a garnet slotted into it, which says the hero can re-roll their first damage roll each turn. So we're going to re-roll that. All right, that's much better. So we're going to deal a damage and can push, but I actually don't want to push because that means I would have to chase this guy down. We're just going to deal the 1 damage to him. Have these tokens here. Looking back at the card, so when this guy gets 2 wounds, he will actually die. Some cards, you flip them over. We'll show you that in a second. All right, we have another action we can do. We can't do Crusader Stride again because we've already done it this turn. We could do Sentinel, which would be a push, and Restore Fate. I think we just do our simple Mechanica Strike, which is this card here. It doesn't cost any fate, and we'll just deal 1 wound, being able to take 1 guy out. But if we do crit, we can restore the fate we spent to do Crusader Stride. So same roll, need at least a 6 here. Oh, we didn't get it. We got a 4, so we're not going to do anything with that next action. All right, now it's the Shadow's go. The Shadow is actually weak to magic damage. That's what this means. It's got a toughness of 3. It also dies when it takes 2 wounds. And it can move and attack. Move is 3. If they attack and hit, they deal a simple wound here. But they also have a special power, which is Ghost of Talons, meaning we cannot add our defense modifiers to the roll when they're attacked by this enemy. Each hero has a particular score with that symbol that you just saw. In Pathseeker's case, it's +0, so it would just be a straight roll. And you're trying to find that target number once again. This number that we rolled up here to hit is also the roll we need to defend. A couple other symbols that you'll see here is the type of enemy it is. It's like a ghostly enemy. And these are their AI behavior trait cards that we need to check to see what they're going to do. This one is ferocious and this one is reposition. And we've got those cards out here. On the ferocious enemy, the first thing they want to do is attack a hero in the same zone, charge a hero in an unengaged zone. This means they can do their full movement and attack in the same go, charge a hero in an engaged zone, or just move to the closest hero. And once they do that, they'll also, there's 2 symbols there. You look at the other card, meaning they'll just get another movement here. So the Shadow is ferocious, so it wants to attack a hero in the same zone, meaning it's just going to attack our Pathseeker friend. So we'll take our d20, and we need to roll a 10. We cannot add our modifier, but we don't really have one. So here we go. All right, we rolled a 4, so we need to look back at what they're going to do. When they hit, they'll deal a wound to Pathseeker. And we have these cards here that we do for the heroes. They have like a critical wound or a severe wound. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that's not what we're being dealt here. We're just being dealt the simple wound. Each hero also has a particular number of hit points indicated by the heart here. Once we get hits equal to that score, we're gonna go down. There are a couple things you can do if you go down, but that's it for now. So let's check the reposition card. They want to move towards a hero in an unengaged zone. In this case, it's going to be Wild Shell. He's the only hero that's not engaged. His movement is 3, so he's going to move 1, 2, down here to Wild Shell. And that'll be it for the Shadow. And now it's Wild Shell's turn. Wild Shell has a lot of cool stuff it can do, including putting out these ghost tokens. We have a particular card that allows us to do that. And that's one of the items we have here. It's our driftwood staff. At the start of the hero's turn, we're going to place up to 4 ghost tokens in the same area within 5 zones. Area being a collection of tiles that's not blocked off by a door. If we closed this door, for instance, it would become 2 areas. At the start of a turn, each of this hero's turns discard any ghost tokens still in the playing area and then place new tokens. And we can do a lot of cool things if we have ghost tokens in areas. So what we're going to do is put out 4. We'll put one in the Forge Warden 3, and we'll just kind of go straight down the line here. All right, so we have 2 actions to take with Wild Shell. Now, one thing I like about this game is there isn't a ton of fiddly rules that have anything to do with range. Wild Shell has a ranged attack value it can do. It can attack up to 2 zones away, but we don't get any kind of penalty for shooting somebody in our spot. And we also don't have to worry about line of sight or anything. It's just counting the zones, which I think is pretty nice and one of the things I like about it. Okay, so let's look at the things we can do. One of the newer skills we have with Wild Shell is called Reaper Bones. I think we'll do that. It's one of our few abilities with him that can possibly deal 2 damage, but we have to crit. One of the other skills we have with Wild Shell allows us to crit if we just roll a 4 on our damage die, regardless of what the toughness is. The toughness of the shadow is a 3, so we would crit on a 3 or 4. But we have some options there. I think we'll do that. That costs a fate token. We also get to roll at advantage because this guy is weak to magic damage. And you'll see on the cards that Wild Shell has, this is magic damage that we're doing here. That's what the second symbol means. So let's kind of do that. This is our Reaper Bones skill. We can discard a ghost token and empower the roll if we'd like. Well, I think actually that's actually on Curse, another one of our skills. Okay, so this is just a advantage roll, and we roll advantage means we roll 2 dice and take the higher. We're at +4 on all the abilities tied to, all of these skills tied to the abilities that our heroes use to attack. So I think we're in decent shape. And if we crit here, meaning we roll the D4, which is the damage dice for Wild Shell, on a 3 or 4, we're gonna just take out the shadow. All right, so we'll do that. So Reaper Bones, we're just rolling straight here with advantage, and we get a +4 to the highest roll we need. Let's look at the target number. This is a 10 as well. So here we go. Highest number is, okay, a 17. +4, it's 21 to hit. That is plenty. So let's roll our damage die. You'll see here that the Wild Shell has a different damage die. It's a D4. It's indicated by this symbol and the little pyramid. So on a 3 or 4, we're gonna crit. We got it. On a 4, we're gonna do a critical. And you'll see with Reaper Bones, on a critical, we deal 2 hits here, 2 wounds. And when we deal 2 wounds to the shadow, the skull symbol indicates that it is dead. So we have removed this card from the marching order. This section of the card here indicates what happens when the card is removed from the marching order. It means we get 1 coin. So we'll add that to our pile up there in the top corner of the board. But there we go. The shadow is gone. Wild Shell still has another ability it can take. So what should that be? Just looking for my coins here. Oh boy, we knocked Forge Warden over. That's not good. Let's see if we can't take out this zombie brigand after we find a coin. All right, we're up to 9 in our kitty. All right, so we could do a poltergeist or a curse. See which one has the better chance of dealing damage. Both of them we have to crit in order to deal damage. This one will basically make them weaker or have us attack at higher chance of hitting by baning or weakening them. That's what curse does. And if you do crit, you do deal damage. We can push. I'm not necessarily sure I want to do that. Neither of them cost fate, which is nice. Let's do curse because the condition token is helpful. Every particular hero has a power that allows them to restore fate or has something happen when they restore fate. And Soul Seer's condition to restore fate is when an enemy in the same zone as a ghost token, which this guy is, gets a condition, then we restore 1 fate. We might go for that. Oh, we do have a gem on our Driftwood Staff, our weapon, that allows us to add 1 to damage rolls as well. Gotta remember that. All right, so we're doing a curse here. So the hero can discard a ghost token from the same zone as the target to empower the attack or damage roll. Don't necessarily want to do that because we want to get that fate back. We need the ghost token there. If this attack hits the enemy, they suffer either bane or weaken. Bane means we get advantage when we attack them, or weaken means we get advantage when we're doing a defense roll against them. And this attack may be used twice. That's one of the few abilities you can do twice in a turn. Okay, so we just need to roll 1 d20 this time. We're looking for target number 10. We got a +4, so let's see what happened. Leaving the ghost token there. All right, so a 19 we are going to hit. That's good. The toughness of the zombie brigand is a 3. So on a 2, 3, or 4, we're going to crit here. And we can add, I think we weaken them because they're about to go. We have tokens for conditions. There they are. So he's got 1 wound and he's weakened. So we have a pretty good chance of critting and dealing the final blow to this particular guy. And we got him. Yeah, so he's down 2. We do get to restore a fate because we conditioned an enemy in a zone with a ghost token. But this guy's gone. So that's good. We don't remove the card, however, because there's another enemy of this type up here. We can get rid of some of the clutter of the tokens here. And we move on. So Zombie Brigand is up next. They just have 1 behavior that we need to check. And that's that Ferocious card, same as the Spirit. So they're going to attack a hero in the same zone. There's no hero in this zone that they're in. So they want to charge a hero in an unengaged zone. And unfortunately, that means Pathseeker is probably going to take another hit. But we could add a defense bonus this time if we had one. He doesn't have one. Pathseeker doesn't have one. Let's go ahead and just roll. We need a 10 or more. 50% shot. Hey, and this is actually a crit. So on a crit, we get to restore fate. We do that on a 1 as well, which is nice. And we've clearly gone above and beyond the target number, so the hit is not going to take effect. If we were attacking, the critical effect of our ability would also take effect automatically without having to roll the damage die. So that's nice. That's it for this Zombie Brigand. All right, so now Pathseeker gets to go. And actually what I'm going to do first, one of the newer cards we have for Pathseeker is, let's see, Ambush. Here. Once per round, when a new enemy is placed on the same tile as Pathseeker, Pathseeker can spend a fate to attack with a snapshot, which is one of their starting abilities, against the enemy as a free action. So we could have done that on any of the 3 enemies, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and do it now because we forgot. I kept thinking it was when they enter the zone, but it's when they're placed on the tile, or they're entering in the tile. So we'll just do it to make up for it. This is our snapshot. On a hit, we deal a damage. On a crit, we could dodge, we can move, but also deal 2. So we could take this enemy out before he even attacks. If the enemy isn't in the same zone or adjacent to Pathseeker, the attack roll can be re-rolled. And we also have empowered damage and attack rolls because we explored this turn. So let's go ahead and make just a bonus snapshot here to see if that guy even got a turn. It's a 7, plus our 4 is 11, so indeed we would hit. The damage die for Pathseeker is a D6, same as Forge Warden. We just had a 50% shot here, but we get a +1 to our attack rolls. We moved some gems around. I used to have the +1 on damage rolls for Pathseeker as well, but I gave that to Wild Shell. So this is just a straight roll, 50% shot to crit, and we got it. So actually this guy didn't get a turn. He was dead. He is gone. We'll add another coin to the kitty. Remove the card from the marching order. And anytime Pathseeker removes a card from the marching order, he restores 2 fate. But our fate is at full at the moment, so no need to do that. All right, so now he gets 2 actions. The big guy, we could easily hit. I should say we have an easy path to, but we're not easily going to hit necessarily because he has resilience to physical damage. So we're going to roll at disadvantage against him with Pathseeker because he does physical attacks. That's what it's one of these 2 symbols means, is physical attacks. So let's pick what we want to do. We do get to empower though, so it'll be the lowest roll plus an empower die, which is a D4. One thing to note is that there is a swarm of flies here, and if this enemy suffers a wound and heroes in the same zone make a target number 9 action roll with this particular skill. I don't recall which one it is. If they roll, and if they fail, they get pushed. They're running away from the flies. But nobody is in the same zone as our brute, so we won't have to worry about that. All right. Let's go ahead and just do snapshot once again. We have a 2 zone range with Pathseeker, so he can hit. A disadvantage roll, but an empowered roll because we were the hero that explored. And if the hero isn't in the same or an adjacent zone, Pathseeker, the attack can be re-rolled. We actually have a gem on our bow that allows us to re-roll this first attack too. Oh, should we just do something different then? Let's do that. We'll do lure shot instead this time, and then we can re-roll snapshot if we miss. So this lure shot does cost a fate to do. You get to dodge on a hit as well as deal a damage. Same thing as the crit of snapshot, 2 damage, and a dodge on a miss. We get to just dodge 2. And if this attack hits, the target can be pushed up to 2 zones after the attack is resolved. So some pretty cool cards here. All right, so again, same roll though. Disadvantage, we need a 14. The target number is higher on this Rotting Brute. But it's our lowest roll plus a D4 plus the 4 we have for our ability tied to this attack. All right, so low is 3 plus 4. That's a 10. Unfortunately, that one is a miss. We can dodge, but we don't necessarily need to because we're within striking distance. We want to stay there. This time, let's go ahead and do that snapshot. Actually, it could be re-rolled. That's the whole reason we did it. We're going to re-roll it. We'll re-roll everything. Even worse this time. 2, 2, 8. So, yeah, not great. All right, we'll do snapshot now. If the hero isn't in the same zone, we can re-roll this one too. But we'll see if we can do any damage whatsoever. So snapshot, again, low roll, plus 4. Let me double check this prey. Oh, the first attack in the round is empowered. So we're not empowered anymore, unfortunately. All right, we've got a 9, a little bit better. Plus 4 is 13, so close, but we're not going to hit, unfortunately. All right, so that means it's the Brute's turn to go. They are cautious. They would attack the closest hero. They can't do that, and they're going to move until the closest hero is within attack range. Their attack range is actually 1. They can attack 1 zone away. They have powerful attacks and pulse attacks, so they hit everybody in the same zone, and our defense rolls are at disadvantage. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about it because we get to go here. That's his first move because of cautious, and then he has reposition as well, which is to move towards a hero in an unengaged zone. We're already good to go there. We're in the same zone. Well, let's say he moved forward one more, because even though he could still hit us, he would want to do the Swarm of Flies damage. All right, that's it for that round. We're going to remove another timer token off the torch. And we just shuffle. We start a new round. We will eventually do a event roll at the end phase here, but we don't do that until we have 3 tiles out. All right, Forge Warden would go first, then the Brute, Wild Shell, Path Seeker. All right, Forge Warden I think is going to do Crusader Stride. It's going to move in there, make an attack. I think Crusader Stride costs a fate, it sure does. So same thing, it's physical damage. Forge Warden is using a sword. So lowest +4. Should we spend another fate to empower? No, let's go for it. Oh, we rolled a natural 20 and then a 6. So I think we'll give ourselves the fate here, just as a little break, even though that's not the roll we're using. But yeah, we don't get to use it, unfortunately. It's just a 10. So we need to do another roll here. Let's do Judgment this time. Yeah, we'll do Judgment. So we'll spin that fate we just got back. Same roll. Low die +4. Here we go. Low die is a 7. Another crit. Wow. +4 is 11. We're still not going to hit. All right, who's up next? The Brute is up next. He wants to attack a hero in the same zone. He has 2 heroes in his zone. And what happens there, if we have a tie, we would attack the hero who is the earliest in the initiative order. So we're actually going to attack Forge Warden. We're going to deal a blow right back. And then he's going to move towards a hero in an adjacent zone. So he would move down here towards, not an adjacent zone, an unengaged zone, excuse me. So he would move down here towards Wild Shell. All right, so this is a pulse attack. Everyone gets hit with it, and we roll at disadvantage. However, we do have some bonuses we can add. Each of the heroes that are going to get attacked here are going to add a +3 to it. So it's lowest for both, but each one gets a +3. And a +1 damage defense roll for Wild Shell. So he's going to get a +4. All right, we'll do Forge Warden first. Lowest +3. Okay, 9 +3 is 12. Close, but that's still going to hit us. So the hit happens here, and we get a wound, and we're pushed 1. And this is Path Seeker. I was looking at Wild Shell's stats, but we don't have any bonuses for Path Seeker. Lowest for him is a 2 plus nothing, so he's going to get hit and pushed as well. Yikes. Each of these heroes has 5 health, so not too bad. All right, that's hit for him. He wants to reposition now and move towards a hero in an unengaged zone, so he will close the gap. We'll just say he's in this place here now. All right, we're repositioning ghost tokens. We'll put one in there. We'll keep one in our spot. And Wild Shell now needs to roll. He doesn't do physical damage, so he has a better chance of hitting here. we only have one particular move that could deal 2. That's that Reaper Bones. We can upgrade the damage die if this particular enemy has a condition token. Maybe we do curse first to see if we can. Yep, let's do that. We'll curse them first. And why not? We're going to empower the roll by just spending a fate. We can do that at any time. We're going to add 4 plus the d4. Yeah, decent chance here. We need a 14 total. That'll do. Okay, a 16 plus 2 and 18 plus our 4. We got 22 to hit. That's excellent. Let us bane them, make them a little easier to hit. We're going to restore fate because there's a ghost token in this spot and this target is getting a condition token. We now have advantage when we roll against them, and we can upgrade the damage dice. When we upgrade damage dice, we get the next highest number of sided die. So if we had a d4 as our typical damage die, we then are going to roll a d6 because we got a condition on this guy. That was a great turn. All right, we're going to spend a token again to do our next attack, the Reaper Bones attack. Oh, but first we need to see if we crit. We do crit, because we have that ghost token there. Their toughness is a 6, but if there's a ghost token in a spot that we are attacking a target in, a 4 automatically crits. So we actually get to deal a damage, which is awesome. Now we got to check up for Swarm of Flies, or we're going to be pushed. Okay. The ability that we're checking here, none of our folks, actually our Forge Warden has a +2 automatically, which is great. Let me just check what kind of ability this is. I couldn't recall which one it was. Constitution. This is a physical fortitude, a constitution check. All right, so we have a target number of 9 constitution check that we need to make for Pathseeker and Forge Warden. If either of them fail, they get pushed into a farther spot. So Forge Warden is first. He gets a +2. That's a 7, so he fails. He's going to move. He'll get pushed back kind of to where he was. And then Pathseeker, Constitution, just a straight roll. Needs a 9. He got a 7. He is also pushed. We're moving around a lot here. All right. The second action we're going to take with Wild Shell is Reaper Bones. We've already paid the fate for that. And this is a roll. We could, it's at advantage because this is a baned character. Do we do anything else to it? I don't think so. All right. Highest roll +4 here. That's 2 crits. That's cool. So we kill that guy. Well, that's great. That was an insane roll. So he's gone. All right, we have cleared the first encounter here. We do get 1 coin for removing this card from the marching order. One coin added. So for our last turn, Pathseeker does still get its 2 actions. So we're going to move 2. It can move up to 3. We'll go to this open portal here and we'll draw another card before we end the round. So we're in a corridor, so we need to draw a room, and here's what we have for a room. Okay, it's just a straight shot room, and we get a challenge aspect card here. So we'll get that out, read the card, and continue. All right, we have the tile set up. Let's go ahead and move our exploring hero into the new tile, and we do have to draw and reconcile a challenge aspect card. Let's do that now. Okay, clockwork lever. A lever is set into the wall, a series of clockwork dials and iron pipes surrounding it. A hero on this tile can spend an action to gain a lever token, then discard this card. Okay, cool. I think we probably will do that. We haven't run into any instances where we could use lever tokens. We did gain one in one of the campaign chapter 8 nodes that we played not too long ago. But we haven't run into an instance where we needed one. All right, so that will end Pathseeker's turn. Let's go ahead and get rid of another token. Again, we are ticking down the torch that we have here. We have, it was 15 turns basically to get through the end of this scenario, and we're about halfway there. We're at the center portion of the map. But if we cross one of these rune symbols, we get to replenish it, which feels pretty generous, to be honest. All right. We do have 3 tiles out on the board now, so we'll roll an event roll. And on a 1 or 2, we will place out an echo token. We haven't even made it off of the original tile with all 3 heroes yet. Okay, let's go ahead and roll the d6 we need to roll. And it's a 3, so no echo token going out yet. Forge Warden is first, followed by our turtle friend, and then Pathseeker. All right, so Forge Warden just needs to move 1, 2, and then again 1, 2. Wild Shell will move doubly as well. They can move 4 total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually, no. We'll go 1, 2, and we'll close this door to create 2 different areas. So that was their 2 actions. Put this card back out so we remember that we can get a lever there. And then Pathseeker, I suppose, can just move and explore again. 1, 2, we'll explore. So now we need a corridor card. And we have cross section here, another aspect card. Here. He goes out there. We have 4 portals on this particular tile now, 4 directions we could head. Get another aspect card. A leaking pipe. A large pipe sits in one corner, emitting a strange gurgling sound. Place the pipe token on the current tile's icon there. The pipe is a hazard. When it activates, place a gas token in a zone adjacent to the pipe that doesn't already contain a gas token. If every adjacent zone contains a gas token, defeat all models on it. If a hero uses a healing potion, place them on an adjacent tile of their choice on the tile's spawn point. Wow, that stinks. So we activate terrain on, let's do, I'm changing my direction. Well, that's a little cheap actually. We won't do that. Where was it? It was up here. There's only 2 sections here. That's 2 coins for finding that. Let's find that token, and we'll continue. Lose another timer token. All right, there is the pipe token. That is gnarly. Okay. So if it activates, meaning if we roll, I believe it's a 6, place a gas token here, and once that's filled up, which it would be because there's only one other zone, models on the tile go down. Yikes. Okay. We have everybody pretty spread out here, which is kind of scary. Let's roll the event roll. All right, so 2, meaning our echo token is going to appear in the entrance. We'll go to a new round here. Wild Shell, Forge Warden, Path Seeker. Right, so I think what we're actually gonna do, we can spend a toolkit to reveal a tile on a secret passage. We might just go this way and try to avoid this tile altogether. Wild Shell needs to go, he's gonna double move. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna move 1. We can do explore actions as free actions. We'll spend a toolkit and go ahead and resolve another corridor. All right, so here we go. Here is the corridor that we have found. Let's find it and put it out. And oh my, that is so close to the rune, but not close enough, I don't think. He'll go up here, put some bad guys out. So just a shadow here and a zombie brigand. In the middle, we actually have a fire pit. So a fire pit is another hazard, another piece of terrain. And a model that moves or is pushed into a zone containing a fire pit token suffers fire. And if a hero suffers a push from an enemy attack and is adjacent to a zone containing a fire pit token, they must be pushed into that zone. So it kind of draws them in like a moth. All right. Let's read a battle aspect card. We'll move another timer token away because we're ending the round since we're starting combat. Battle aspect card here is Corpse Gas. The undead here are bloated and vile. Place 3 timer tokens on this card. When an undead enemy is defeated, discard a token. Then each model in the defeated enemy's zone suffers poison. If there are no tokens on the card, discard the card instead. Okay, so I'll put that up there. I'll just add these timer tokens that we've taken off onto it. All right. All right, and Forge Warden's special explore action is this. He's a bastion, so he can make explore actions as a free action, and if he uses an explore action, you add +1 to defense rolls during the following round. So let's roll this. A 1, okay. Meaning this guy is gonna move forward and we're gonna draw a card out of our Wandering Monster deck. All right, so we've got Path Seeker first, Forge Warden, wow, all the heroes, Wild Shell, Shadow, and the Brigand. The Brigand would slow, but he's already at the last bit. Let's go ahead, shuffle our Wandering Monster deck here. Here's our Ettercap and Giant Spider and the 2 other cards. It's a little hard to shuffle these because the 2 Wandering Monsters are double-sided. And we have, the Giant Spider. Okay, so we'll go ahead and shuffle all of these guys again. Spider will spawn right down the fire pit, interestingly enough. Shadow goes first this time. Shell, Brigand, it'll get pushed back behind Forge Warden, and the Spider, and Path Seeker will go last. Let's grab the Spider Mini. There they are. Haven't painted him yet, but he's now smack dab in the middle here. We only have one undead. We have the zombie brigand on here. So move this echo token back off here. And we'll get moving. All right, so first up, the Shadow wants to take an attack against a hero in its own zone. We already have that scenario happening here, so we'll roll a defense roll. We cannot add our defense bonus, however, because of the ghostly talons. We need to beat a 10. Now we don't with a 4, so we'll just get another wound card on Forge Warden. Right, it then wants to move towards a hero in an unengaged zone, so it can do that by getting down here to Wild Shell. That's its go. Wild Shell, they'll put some ghost tokens out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll attack the Shadow here because we get to attack with advantage. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and do Reaper Bones. Spinning a fate to do so. There we go. Wow. A 1 and a 3. Okay, so unfortunately Reaper Bones is not going to hit, but we can perhaps do another attack here. Let's go ahead and do Curse. Same roll. $16 and a 19. Okay, we're gonna hit that time for sure. I'm gonna inflict some damage on here. Let's make this a Baned Shadow. We'll see if we crit. We'll crit on a 3 or a 4. Just a 2, so no crit there. We do get to inflict a wound. I'm sorry, condition, and we get fate back because of that condition. And that's all that Wild Shell can do. Okay. We did forget to add the defense bonus here, but I don't recall if we're actually going to make that roll or not. I don't remember exactly what the roll was. Okay, Fire Pit. Let's read that again because our spider friend is there. A model that moves or is pushed into a zone containing a fire pit suffers fire. I guess it would suffer fire. It's not moved or pushed, but it appeared there. It spawned there, and it was following us from the back of the dungeon. I'm not sure. It's not technically been moved or pushed. It just appeared there, but it makes sense that it got zapped. Okay, so we'll say the spider's on fire. And when a model is on fire, at the end of the round, the model suffers a wound and then they discard the token. Okay. So I guess we can't, can we get rid of that fire token? We have to go through there. I don't know. But what do we do? I think the spider is the biggest threat, but we have to suffer fire as well if we get in there. Actually, the online errata mentions that a fire pit only causes fire when something is pushed into it. It shouldn't be moves into. So we're going to take this token back, and we can move freely through there if it's of our own volition. Now we just have to decide what to do. Let's do a Crusader Stride, moving into this spot here, and start whacking on this giant spider if we can. Cost a fate to do that particular move. And why not? Let's empower this roll. try to start doing some damage. On Crusader Stride, that's the one that allows us to move in. So here we go. All right, so we have 11 plus the 4 from our attribute here. Oh, let me move this up a little bit so we can see. Meaning we will hit. We are gonna hit there. Let's roll our damage die. All right, so that's a 2. You can re-roll that. And that's a 4, so that will crit. On a stride, we can push if we want to, but I don't actually think we want to do that. We'll just do 1 here, and let's try to do another attack on the spider if possible. Which one though? How about Judgment? Oh no, a 3. So that won't do it. That's only a 7 total. That stinks. Okay. Zombies. He's gonna move here. Yeah, he's charging into this unengaged zone that we had here. So let's roll defense. It's gonna be a +3. All right, 15 is plenty to block this oncoming strike. So they're done. And now the spider. The spider is cautious and wants to attack the closest hero, which it'll do. So we need to beat a 12 here with our defense roll. We get a +3. We have a +1 because of the explore action we took. Yeah, and we're gonna do that with the 19. We'll block that. That's its go, and now Pathseeker gets to go. All right, let's go ahead. We'll do a snapshot here because we can attack it and then we can move off this tile, which we want to do ASAP so we don't get gassed. And then we could possibly, oh, we couldn't take another shot, unfortunately. Do we move first? No. All right, let's just do an attack here. It's baned, so we'll keep the higher. All right, a 20, that's awesome. Get a fate back. An auto crit means we take this guy out. We get 2 fate back for removing the card from the lineup. And a coin goes into the kitty. And we get 1 more go. On a crit, we could dodge, so we'll use this movement to go in here. Now I have 1 more action. We'll just dodge. You know what? We'll stay here. No, we'll move here. Okay. That's it for that round. Their timing token goes away. Let's roll. All right, a 3. So nothing happens there. Time to reshuffle. Forge Warden, Wild Shell, Brigand, which will get slowed behind the Pathseeker. Last but not least is the Spider. All right, Forge Warden. I think we're gonna attack the Spider. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do our Bastion, no, Judgment, because we get to upgrade a damage die with an additional enemy in the zone here, and we have a possibility to crit. Let's spend Fate, and we'll roll. Need a 12 here. Got a 12 exactly, so a 16 total. We'll upgrade our D6 damage die to a D8, the pyramid one. And we can re-roll this. So in order to crit, we need to match the spider's toughness of 4. So here we go. We got it. All right, so we crit on the spider. We're gonna heat up this card. So when we see this symbol on the 2 wound section of the card, we get to flip it, and now things change. It's more vulnerable, and it's not gonna attack us from afar. Before it would attack us from 2 spaces away, but now it's ferocious, no longer cautious, and it's gonna deal a serious wound and poison, and it's gonna stay in the same spot, and it's powerful, so we have disadvantage. So we do get to carry over 1 wound. It still has 1 wound because we had 1, dealt 2, so now it has a total of 3, meaning you discard the first 2 when you flip the card, and you still get the 1 to carry over. But it's vulnerable, and we do have an opportunity to take this guy out. Let's do that, shall we? Let's do that. How do we do it? We'll just go Mechanica, because on a hit we'll deal a wound, on a crit we'll deal a wound, and replenish fate. So let's go ahead and spin the fate, since we might be able to get 1 back. We get to upgrade the, no, that was just on judgment. We don't get to upgrade. So this is just a roll we need to do. We're gonna spin the fate to empower. That's what that was for, because Mechanica Strike does not take fate. And we need a 12. Oh, and we're at advantage because of the physical vulnerability. So 13 and 1 is 14. Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right, spider's gone. That's good, because he's gross. We don't like him. Let's see if we crit though. No. So we won't replenish that fate, but we did get rid of the spider. And that is good. All right. So next up we have Wild Shell. We'll just keep these tokens here in their spot that they're in. I think that's a good place to be. And I guess we just make a couple of attacks. Pathseeker can probably get the job done, but no harm in trying. Let's go ahead and do Curse first. So we can possibly get some fate back by inflicting a wound and make it easier for Pathseeker to hit. So here we go. We need a 10. 9 plus 4 is 13. That will hit. Let's see if we crit. Yeah, we do. Okay, so we inflict a wound. We'll make them baned. And we get a fate back for inflicting. Now I think what we're actually going to do is spin this action for the Clockwork Lever card, meaning we'll get a lever token for Wild Shell. Forge Warden has one. We're going to give 2 characters that have one, which I'm assuming is going to come in handy at some point. How many of these are there, I wonder? Ah, there. Okay. Now we'll see if Pathseeker cannot finish the job here. We're getting close to the edge, which would be the end of the delve. So 2 shots basically to get this done. Let's do a snapshot. Let's go ahead and spend a fate to empower the roll, because if we take them out, we'll get 2 back. And we could dodge forward with a snapshot too, making a little progress. So an advantage roll because of Bane. We got +4 and plus a D4. Highest is a 16, 20, 24. Oh yeah. So one damage is dealt. And that's it. Let's see if we crit though, just to be able to dodge. We need a 3. We got it. Okay, we'll dodge forward. We'll take this guy out. And we do have one more action we can take, so we'll move up here. Clear the board a little bit. But let's see, we do have this corpse gas thing to take care of. Get a coin for taking out the card, get our 2 fate back. Lots to remember. All right, so again, this says, place 3 timer tokens on this card when an undead enemy is defeated. Discard a token. Then each model in the defeated enemy zone suffers a poison. So unfortunately, Forge Warden's gonna get poisoned. If there are no tokens to discard, discard the card. So we've got 2 on there now. I think these are technically supposed to be down on the end here, but I'm leaving it up here so we can see it in the shot. I think the lever card goes away. We'll discard a timer token. It feels like we have plenty of time to get out of here. We started with 15. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're about halfway through and we're close to the edge. Probably one more tile could put us on the edge up there. But hey, this is a dungeon crawl, so you never know. What else? We'll roll an event roll here. On a 6, okay, the hazard's going to activate and gas is going to come out here. So anybody in here is dead, which is gnarly. So we're not going that way. Not going that way. But it's time to deal out some more initiative and hopefully finish this thing. We'll probably have one more fight up top. We'll go from there. All right, Forge Warden. That's kind of best case scenario for trying to explore Path Seeker and Wild Shell. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna move 1. We'll do our last explore. Okay, and this is a tile that I think will cross the threshold and get us to the ending, but we will have another fight to take on. Let's get that out, and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, we've got the tile out here. We're gonna have our old friends, the brigands, back out. Here. And here. Shadow and a brute. Shadow's here. Brute is here. We'll end another round. Roll an event die. All right, 1, so the echo token is out. Battle aspect card says we have a macabre totem. A filthy standard flies on a grave wind, weaving necromantic energy in the air. Place the banner token on the current tile spawn point. When the banner is on the playing area, enemies add poison to their attack effects. If a hero removes the banner, they make a target number 8 Constitution action roll. If they fail, they suffer poison. If the banner is removed, discard the card. So it's going to come down to this. We have crossed the threshold up there. We're going to put the stair token up there as well. Here's the banner token, and it is kind of right here on front, so we could just skedaddle if we wanted to. And we can't forget that the Bastion, the Forge Warden, is poisoned. So when we get poisoned, every time we draw a poison token, we take an extra wound for each poison token that we've had. When a model suffers poison before the poison token is placed next to the model, they suffer a number of wounds equal to the number of tokens they already have. And then you discard all tokens when the heroes rest. All right, and then the banner. The first enemy card to become exhausted each round suffers going to the end. So it's going to kind of keep everyone going, and they're going to get poisoned. Then they're unexhausted. Heroes in the same zone as the banner token can spend an action to discard the token if there are no enemies in the zone. But we have to make a constitution roll to do that. What a nasty card to get right here at the end. All right, so let's do some new marching order. And then perhaps we can just peace out if we make it. Maybe we make it one round and then we can just jump out of there. All right. Because the stairs are right there at the ending. Yeah, and we have the corpse gas and everything. Ooh, I don't know. I feel like we might just need to get out of here. Forge Warden's going first. Turtle's going second. That's good. Brute's going. Brigand's going what is slowed behind Pathseeker. And the Shadow's going last. So all of our folks get up there. The only problem is that we can't get up there and escape in the same turn with Wild Shell. So then he's just going to get wrecked. All right, so we may spend an action. We're just going to keep getting wailed on. We could get up there, get knocked out with the turtle, and spend a healing potion to pop back up. Or we could just try to take things out. But I think we try to survive one round, and then we can escape when we just get there. So, Forge Warden, what do they want to do? They're going to Crusader Stride. They're going to pop in here. They're going to bop. Oh, we should actually be in here because we explored. We get defense rolls at +1 because we explored. And then do we take out a Brigand? Yeah, maybe we spend an action to try to get rid of the banner. If they remove it, we must make a constitution roll, or we're going to get poisoned again, which is not too bad. We'll get one extra roll, but we would just take that out. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's our first action. We're going to spend an action to discard that token. We're just getting rid of the banner first. Don't want to play around. We make a constitution roll to see if we get extra poison. It's Constitution 8. That's a 10, so we're good. And this card goes away. All right, that was our first action. Let's try to take out one of the big boys. Yeah, okay, not big, sorry. It's overwhelming. Let's take out one of the Brigands just to have one less attack against us here. And I think it's going to be... Let's go Judgment. Should we empower? Yeah, we'll empower. All right, so an empowered rolled here against the 10 of the zombie brigand. Yeah, we got a hit there. And let's roll our damage die. We can re-roll this because it's our first one of the turn. We need a 3 to crit. We got it. All right, so we've taken out one zombie brigand. And we're gonna get poisoned again. So we're taking a wound and a second poison token. So another one will take us out, but we have plenty of healing potions. That's the 2 actions there. Wild Shell is going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just have to survive the onslaught of the Brute. On our first turn, we could put out ghost tokens, I guess. Up to 5 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could put one here. Back there. Might as well put them here and here too. All right, the Brute wants to cautiously attack the closest hero. He's a tie, so he's going to attack Forge Warden. Our defense is just going to be a 3. It's a powerful attack. This is going to attack Wild Shell as well because it's a pulse attack. It's going to hit everybody in the same zone. So Forge Warden does not make the save. So he's going to get a wound and pushed. Ouch. And he is at 4 of his 5. And I think Wild Shell's going to get hit too. It's like, stay away. All right, and then reposition. Move towards a hero in an unengaged zone. He can only move 1, so he, of course, is going to make life hard for us here. All right, that's his go. Pathseeker's up. What does Pathseeker want to do? Maybe just take out whoever we can so they don't get turns. The zombies are up. And the Shadow still has a go. Maybe we go Shadow because they're a little... They do the same attack. I'm going to get a poison token because of corpse gas. I think corpse gas actually only affected a hero in the same zone. Well, we were in the same zone with last time. But if we attack him... Sure, let's start with the zombie brigand first. Might as well do some empowering here. Which move are we going to do? Snapshot, probably. That's kind of our go-to. This attack can be rerolled. No, let's do lure shot first. Because it can be rerolled, and then snapshot. Lure shot on the... Let's go... Actually, we're going to go shadow. Going to go shadow. All right, 11, 15, we have a hit here. Crit on a 3. No. Okay. Just gonna hit. Huh. What to do? We'll go snapshot against the zombie this time, because it can be rerolled since he's 2 spaces away from us. Yeah, 21. Do we crit? We do. Awesome. We'll get rid of this. No more corpse gas. Get rid of this, get 2 fate back. Get another coin. I think we're okay. We can use health potions. We have 3 of them. But it's just a little hairy. Really don't want another wandering monster to pop up. All right, Shadow. It's ferocious. It wants to charge in here, and then unfortunately he's going to hit Forge Warden. We can't add. We just need a 10. And this will be his last wound, but we can use a health potion if he gets hit. Need a 10, straight roll. 17. He's not hit. He's going to reposition, move towards a hero in an unengaged zone. Everyone's here. Everyone is here. All right. Event. Timer. Echo token goes out to our same area. So we're drawn from the deck once again. So dramatic here at the end. Wind tunnel. A powerful wind sweeps through the chamber, chilling you to the bone with its touch. There must be some backdraft down here. Flip each door token to the open side, then discard this card. Okay, so no monster, but this door opens. All right, new order goes out. So I think we're going to retroactively make another snapshot against the ghost because it moved into our zone and we have that ambush skill. We have enough fate to do it. And it will go first, followed by Forge Warden, Wild Shell, Pathseeker, and the Brute. So we're just going to see if it even survives. Because we can, again, on the ambush, once per round, when a new enemy is placed on the same tile as Pathseeker, just move to our tile just a moment ago. Pathseeker can spend fate to make a snapshot against the enemy as a free action. So we're going to do that. We're going snapshot, and we need just a 6 and above to take them out. It's not going to do it with a 1. All right, so it's still there now. It just wants to attack, and unfortunately it's going to attack Forge Warden again because he's the first in the initiative order. So let's roll. Same roll as last time. Just need above a 10. That's a 5. Okay, so we're going to get hit with a wound, but we're going to spend a healing potion to bounce right back up. All wounds. Poison tokens go away. Yeah, fully healed there with a potion. Amazing. And in the maintenance phase of the game, in between each delve, we can spend 7 gold to replenish any of our tokens up top there. We have plenty to get back all of our tokens up. So that's Shadow's go. It would just move towards a hero in an unengaged zone or an engaged zone. But we don't need to do that because it's kind of already there. Now Forge Warden can, I think, take some vengeance here. Or we could just move. We have to do a test to move out of a zone with a bad guy, a parting blow. So I'm thinking I could take 1 action, then every other hero would get to go. So if we take an action, that can take out the spirit, this shadow enemy we're fighting. We just need to deal 1 damage, and then we can all just take 1 move and 1 escape. And then we complete the scenario. Corpse gas is gone. So let's try that, but the question is which one? And I think we'll empower whichever. We're going to go ahead and spin another fate here to empower whatever role we're going to do. Just need to deal 1 damage. So we could do that with Mechanica. We could do that with Judgment. We could do that with Crusader Stride. Let's just go Mechanica. So we need a 10 here. Yeah, a 9 plus a 4 is 13. We're gonna deal a strike, a Mechanica strike that kills it. If we crit, we get fate back. We do not crit, but we have killed this guy. So there's one action, and then we're gonna move and just wait for our turn. One more coin added to the bank here. Wild Shell's gonna move and escape. He's gone. Path Seeker. Huh. Do we try to hit here with Path Seeker? Because we can lure shot and it can be pushed. Yeah, let's lure shot. It can be pushed out of the way. And we can move over. That's just one action, and then we can escape. Because on lure shot, we can dodge, move one space on a hit, crit, or miss. So yeah, let's do that. Gonna be a disadvantage here. Lowest is a 17. So we're gonna hit with a 21. So 1 goes out. We do need to check on Swarm of Flies, but first let's see if we crit. We crit only on a 6, so it has to be a good one. Oh, let's keep it inside. Just a 2. But if this attack hits, the target can be pushed up to 2 zones after the attack is resolved. Let's go ahead and do our Constitution check for Forge Warden, or he's going to be pushed back. We need a 9, we have a +2. Okay, he's fine, he's not moving. But then we can move this guy over here. We're going to dodge over with our second action. We're out. And then it's up to the Brute. He can attack, but we should be able to sustain. All right. Disadvantage on our defense here. He's going to hit us. It's a push and a wound if the hit goes through. Lowest is a 7. And then 10 total. All right, so we are going to get hit, unfortunately. So we're going to take a wound. We're going to move back. All right. Event roll is a 1. Uh-oh. So Echo Token goes out. It's in the same area, so we're going to have to draw from those cards once again. One of them is a monster, one of them is nothing. 50-50 shot for good things to happen. It's the other cap. It's the other wandering monster. Okay, he goes out on this tile. But as long as he doesn't go, we should be able to move and escape. Wow. All right, so it's the Brute, and it's Forge Warden, and it's the Ettercap. No joke, Forge Warden goes first. Ettercap, Rotting Brute. On our turn, we're doing a move action, spinning an action to get the heck out of there. Ooh. And as far as I understand it, you can just spin that action to to escape, even if enemies are in the same zone. You're just running up the stairs, getting out. But that's it. That's a torchlight scenario. We have finished 8I, and we do have a narrative entry to read here. So as you can see, we read entry 163. So let's go ahead and read that. So it looks like another dead end. Good sparring practice at least, and what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Each hero gains an XP. Okay, yeah, we've actually maxed out the progression tracker XP, so we no longer can do that. So we'll have to do another torchlight scenario down here. I might play that off camera. Unless you really want to see it, let me know. We'll probably find a key to this path right here. And this is a boss fight with the crone, I'm assuming, because this is the crone's sanctum after all. Might film that because it'd be fun to have a boss fight. But yeah, that's it. That is Bardsung and a torchlight node. We had never done one of these on the channel yet. It's fun to see another game type that we have here. I don't know if I'll keep playing it because of the repetitive nature of the game, but hopefully after we escape the sanctum here, we'll find new enemy types. There are a ton of minis we haven't even seen. And we've played this game for hours and hours and hours. So it's fun. I really like the mechanisms of it. I like the design. I think everything is cool. It is a pretty quick dungeon crawl, but it's a bit repetitive. But overall, a pretty cool package. And it looks like a good bit is changing in this new edition. I'm not sure if I'm going to back it, or this sequel, I think is what's more accurate to call it. But there you go. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if I missed anything. I'll make any rules goofs as I edit. Notes of that will be in either the description or on the bottom of the screen, as I always do. But if you watch this video, thanks so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Hope to do some more League of Dungeoneers stuff. I wanted to kind of get this out, give it another go before I got back into an even deeper game there, and then have a couple other ideas of videos coming soon. So thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.